Good evening. My name is Noah. We're in the studio with you tonight as we are taking a little time together to celebrate some of the stuff that's been going on this week in alternative music, entertainment, and more. This is Alt Culture Weekend here on Alt 1017, Tuscaloosa's new alternative. We've got a very packed show lined up for you tonight. Lots of great music to play for you. I'm excited for the movie segment tonight because I went and saw a movie that I was very excited about last week. Here to give you an update of that. And then throughout the show, I've also got, we've got our message lines open. If you want to send us a message on the Alt 1017 app, you can do that. Or send us a message on our Instagram, Alt 1017FM. You can follow us there and stay up to date on all the stuff that's going on Alt 1017, including, if you're following us, you can always get the story, the sneak peek about what songs that we're going to be playing, or what artists, at least, that we're going to be playing on the show. Sort of topic that we have for today, in addition to all the other sort of timely things, is we're talking a little bit about donuts. It's not like National Donut Day or anything. That's not till June 7th. But I was looking at this article in the New York Post, the most veritable news organization of all time. According to a psychiatrist, they talked to a real psychiatrist, and they're talking about what your donut choice says about you. So we'll be talking about that during the show as well. Just a little thing to sprinkle in there, and you see what it does. So if you've got a particular donut choice and you want me to sort of be a second-hand psychiatrist for you, second-hand psychiatrist, then send me a message on the Alt 117 app or Alt 117 FM on Instagram, and we can discuss that together. We're going to jump right into the music. She's been in the news a lot this past weekend. Just came out with her new album. It's Beyonce. Cowboy Carter just dropped yesterday. Over an hour's worth of music and more. This album has been in the conversation. It's just as a country album for Beyonce. So she's dipped into country a little bit before, or some of those influences. But this album seems to go full on country. But I think there's full on country is the discussion. It's more of I think there are a lot of genres being combined on this album. There's definitely country features and influences, but there are definitely parts of the album where I'm like, now come on, Beyonce. It seems like maybe you just want to make a dance album, like Renaissance or something. I don't know. It's completely fine for you to make whatever you want, and she really wants to push that as country, which is fine, but I just don't know that a typical country fan is ever going to believe you. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll be interested to see in about a year's time whenever the Grammys come out, and they're putting albums into different categories where they put hers. I'm sure that will be a conversation. But, people on the interwebs have been saying that, it's not country. And I think there is definitely country here on here, but it's Beyonce country. But, one of the songs that I wanted to highlight has our old friend Post Malone on it, Levi's Jeans. This one is one of my favorites. And I think Post Malone's half of this is really good. So I'm going to play that for you. I think it's got a little alt flair, with both Beyonce and Post Malone sort of doing some different genre bending. If you want to go check it out, if you're more of an alt listener, I thought the song Bodyguard also sort of had a little bit of an alt flair, perhaps. So, but yeah, so we'll see how the culture responds to it here on Alt Culture Weekend. It's Beyonce, Levi's Jeans, off of the new album Cowboy Carter. Take it away.
Tuscaloosa's only source for everything alternative. Alt 1017.
The numbers, of course, say that this album has been very successful. Popcrave says that Cowboy Carter earned the biggest debut of 2024 on Spotify, 76.1 million streams. And it's the first time a country album holds that title this year. So, biggest country album of the year so far, quote unquote. Also want to hit a couple other things going on charting. The TikTok Billboard charts. I always like to keep an eye on to what the folks are listening to these days on the short form content, and this artist Alec Olsen is at the top with his folky song "Someday I'll Get It." I want to play a little bit for you here.
I think of you all the time. Now that you're gone, I've been doing all kinds of drugs.
So that's Alec Olsen's new song, song that's been doing well recently. "Someday I'll Get It" is the name of that track. And you may have heard that little tune showing up in your feed lately. He's the top of the Billboard charts, and number 2 is still my friend and yours, Joe, End of the Beginning, is still up there. A couple of things in the alternative scene. Bruce Springsteen, there's talks of a biopic coming up with him. They like to make biopics with everyone these days, so some of the iconic figures of our time. And it's Jeremy Allen White from Shameless and The Bear more recently is reportedly in talks to play Bruce Springsteen in an upcoming biopic. I'm a big fan of Jeremy Allen White, his acting. I've got to see some more of what he does, but and I've got to check out season 2 of The Bear because it's just been stressed out with everything going on in my life right now. So I watched season 1 and I was in the perfect moment for it, but I've got to wait before I get to season 2 because it's a very stressful show and everything. But Jeremy Allen White could be playing Bruce Springsteen. Go check out a picture of him and see if you think just by looks alone he could do it. He's got an interesting look. It was interesting to see Bruce Springsteen. I watched this documentary about which Bruce Springsteen was featured in the other day. It was about the making of We Are the World, and he was one of the talking head segments, just talking about being involved in making that song. I didn't realize that to be involved and be live there in the studio, because that's what they had to do it back then, to make a big song that had so many famous artists on, is he finished up his tour and then flew immediately across the country out west to get in the studio and record his part for that. So that's Bruce Springsteen. We also had our pal Noah Kahan was on the one and only Sesame Street. He's got here's a little clip of him talking with some of those puppets and stuff.
Oh, Noah! Oh, thank you!
Oh, all right, season of the stick.
There's this puppet stick that's talking to him.
It's my year, my decade, my era. Oh, everyone's always talking about leaves, but now sticks have finally made it.
So that's Noah Kahan on Sesame Street. Our boy has made it, season of the Sticks. So, but I'm excited for what his next thing will be. So, his next big project, his next big album, I'm looking forward to it. So, Noah Kahan, keep making your stuff. So that's a little bit of some alt artist updates. We're gonna keep it moving with some great music going on, and I'll keep you posted on we got a couple other things going on with Casey Musgraves, Kristen Stewart, Gerard Way. We got some more alt artist updates coming for you later on in the show, but I want to get to some more great music. We've got this band. You may not have heard of them before. It's Good Kid. They're a 5-member indie rock band from Canada, and they've got some very, how would I describe it? It's alt, it's upbeat like indie rock, and so it's very happy sounding, and it's indie headbanging. It's happy-go-lucky indie music, and they've got this new EP out, Good Kid 4. They've got a series of these EPs that they've done. If you're feeling down, put this on and enjoy it. The song that I want to play for you, I went back and forth on which song I want to play for you, but the song I want to highlight tonight is Premier Inn. I love how the vocals bend on this song, just like how their vocalist just takes it and delivers the song in just such a fun way. So, yeah, I want to go ahead and play that for you here on Alt Culture Weekend. We've got Good Kid. Their new EP, Good Kid 4, is out right now. Here we go. That's a new single from Lorde right here on Alt 1017. You're listening to Alt Culture Weekend. My name is Noah. That is from the upcoming tribute album to the Talking Heads, the Stop Making Sense album. 824 is producing that, and there's not a lot of details out right now about when the actual release date of that album is going to be. I've not been able to find it, but we know a lot of the artists on it, and currently out right now for lead singles leading up to the release of that album. Paramore did a cover of Burning Down the House leading up to this album, but I still haven't been able to find a release date of that, so I'm going to have to keep you posted on that. So here on the show, we're entering the alt entertainment section to keep you up to date on all the latest movies or TV shows or things that on streaming that you need to be aware of or out in theaters right now. So last week, I hyped up that I was very excited about this movie, Late Night with the Devil. Ooh, so let me go ahead and play a little trailer of that for you to sort of remind you and sort of bring that back up to date. Here's a trailer, Late Night with the Devil.
We all know how important it is to keep our sponsors and affiliates happy, but in my humble opinion, there is only one person who really matters in this whole darn crazy business. And that is you, our viewer.
You're meddling with things you don't understand.
Whoa! Now, as you know, here on Night Owls, we think it's very important to keep an open mind. Please welcome Dr. June Ross Mitchell and Lily, the young subject of the book, Conversations with the Devil.
I really don't think it's a good idea, Jack. She's becoming more unpredictable.
That's a good thing. That's why we still do live TV. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for a live television first as we attempt to commune with the devil.
So that's Late Night with the Devil. I went and saw it this past week, and I will say I had very high expectations for this film, which I don't think could have ever quite been met. But I found it a very intriguing watch. And it's kind of scary, it's kind of gross, but it's very, like, gripping. It's a little chilling. And you can wait until it gets onto streaming, because I'm sure it will at some point. These smaller budget movies generally have a short time in theaters, and then they'll get put on streaming. But I think you've got to go see it in the theater. Seeing it just like in I'd seen a couple IMAX's releases lately with Dune and everything like that. But just seeing this in sort of a smaller theater, there were just a few of us there watching it, and a big screen and just completely engrossed in the movie and locked in. I was locked in. I don't know. It was a very unique experience, and I liked the structure of the story. It's all a live television broadcast, kind of a found footage vibe a little bit, and I don't know. I think you should go check it out. If you like scary stuff, if you like spooky stuff, if you don't mind a little squeamish stuff, you got to go check out this movie. We got some scares right here in spring. You don't have to wait till October for freaky movies, for scary movies. You can watch them right now. You can watch them all year long. And they always seem to be releasing some scary stuff. So Late Night with the Devil, you have my recommendation. Go see it in theaters while you can, if you can, because if you just wait till I think the experience of seeing it there, and I can't give too much away about what it's all about, but I thought it was a 4 out of 5 type experience, and you should go check it out and let me know what you think. A couple other new movies that are out new this weekend. We've got the one and only Godzilla and Kong are back in the theaters. Let's hear a little bit about that.
We've discovered a signal. She can feel it. Kong, Godzilla, they can feel it too. Something is coming. Something even they're afraid of. You feel like going for? So that's Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. So it's playing in theaters right now. You can go see it as they team up to try to sort of take down the big bad. You can go see that in IMAX or whatever you want to do. We also got a Liam Neeson vehicle, at least a Liam Neeson picture, In the Land of Saints and Sinners. A little action movie here. Let's take a listen to this.
I'm going to be safe.
The explosion left 6 dead.
Kramer, what is it that you did? I lost track long ago.
A saint's got to be a sinner first, don't he?
I won't have you hurting anyone else in this time.
We're not leaving.
So that's In the Land of Saints and Sinners. It's got Liam Neeson, Carrie Condon, who you may know from Banshees of Inisherin. Liam Neeson, of course, is famous for everything else. Says hoping to leave his dark past behind him, a former assassin. There's always a former assassin. We've got we're chock full in this country with former assassins. Leads a quiet life in a coastal Irish town. When menacing terrorists show up, he soon discovers that he has to get involved. So that's In the Land of the Saints and Sinners. That's playing right now in theaters. But if you want to think about your home theater, I've also got a little bit of updates for you. There's a couple different things going on the small screen, the at-home theater. Netflix has got a couple movies that have dropped. They got a sports drama, Beautiful Game, an action drama, Heart of the Hunter, and a thriller action movie, The Wages of Fear, all on Netflix right now. Also, the Hunger Games movies are back on, starting tomorrow. They do have this also new TV show that I was checking out, Three Body Problem, and it's sort of about these scientists, focuses on these scientists as they the world scientists start to notice that something's going wrong. Some of them are quitting or leaving themselves of the world. We're trying to figure out what's going on, and it seems to be perhaps something of some something from space is causing them to act this way. Check it out if you like to. I gave it the old 3-episode test, and I was not a particular fan of it. I think the characters were very underwritten, and then there's Netflix shows. They like to have a lot of focus on plot and not too much on character development, and I just found that there was nothing too much interesting going on, and the writing was kind of stale. There's one point where they're having a conversation between two of these different scientist characters, and one of them says that describes herself as a hard science snob, and I was just like, is this how scientists talk? Can we get a scientist in the room? Is this how scientists talk? So, I was not too much a fan of it. By the time episode 3 rolled around, and at the end of it, the climax of the episode was that one of the main characters died. I was like, I don't care. I don't care what's going on with these characters. So, Three Body Problem, not a big fan. If you enjoyed it, send me a message. Let me know if you enjoyed Three Body Problem. But I would recommend you maybe skip out on that one. So that's a little bit about what's going on the smaller screen. Also, I went and saw Love Lies Bleeding earlier this week as well, Kristen Stewart movie, so check that out if you got a chance. Kristen Stewart, she talked a little bit about the I'm Just Ken performance back at the Oscars with Ryan Gosling. She said she was emotionally affected by it. I was too. I get that. Luca's, that Pixar movie, animated movie Luca, is also back in theaters if you want to check that out. So that's a bit about what's going on in movies here in Tuscaloosa. Let's go to movies, to some munchies. I was talking a little bit about donuts. What does your donut choice say about you? This psychiatrist spoke to the New York Post, and they're saying that if you like jam-filled donuts, you have a lot of fond memories of childhood growing up. You might live in the present, but you're logic and reliable, and people always know where they can stand with you. Are you a jam-filled donut fan? I like my jam-filled donuts, but only part of the time, and only part of the time am I reliable when people know they can stand with me. A lot of times I'm flaky. I flake out. I just don't even show up to things sometimes. So if you got a favorite donut, let me know, and I'll do some secondhand psychiatry here. But for now, we're going to go right back to the music. Sum 41, a little bit of a pop-punk, post-punk band. They got their farewell album, Heaven X Hell, Heaven and Hell, however you like to say it. And similar to Godzilla X Kong, Heaven X Hell, is I would imagine if I went to see that movie, I would be a little disappointed, and I was a little bit disappointed by this album. I was kind of expecting more. It's a lot samey across a lot of it, but I do think there was a couple of bright spots, including the song that I'm going to play for you tonight, Not Quite Myself by Sum 41, right here on Alt Culture Weekend. We'll be back in a minute. You're listening to Alt Culture Weekend. My name is Noah. I want to hit you with a couple more alternative artist updates. Gerard Way, he's a comic person. He likes to make some comics. He's done comics for years now, and he's returning with a new comic series called Paranoid Gardens. So he's got that coming out. And then Casey Musgraves, she's got some stuff to celebrate as well. Her Deeper Well album, which we highlighted on the show the other day, is her 5th consecutive #1 on Billboard's Top Country Albums chart. Debuted at #2 on the Billboard 200, and it's her highest charting album since her debut album, Same Trailer, Different Park, debuted and peaked at #2 in 2013. So Casey Musgraves is doing all right with Deeper Well. We enjoyed that album on this show. We also enjoy making a lot of money, so she's doing a little bit well there. Also making money and breaking records is U2, the band U2. They've had some residency at that Sphere in Las Vegas. They've been doing shows there, and they have done, for the month of February, they did the best box score without even going on tour. So they did 10 shows, and they're the first group to lead the top tours charts without actually going on tour. All of their February shows were part of their residency at the Las Vegas Sphere. So that wrapped at the start of this month. So all those numbers are in, and they broke some records there. So we talk about breaking records a little bit, but one thing you don't want to do is get in trouble. And Travis Scott, he's still dealing with these Astroworld lawsuits where there was a concert tragedy there, and a couple people passed away with all the stuff that was going on and all the antics that were happening. He's trying to get out of these Astroworld lawsuits and say that he was not liable. He's not responsible for the safety of that concert, so that is still going on, and so we'll see how that turns out. He's also performing tonight on SNL with Rami Youssef, who was in the Oscar-winning film Poor Things, which is a film that I enjoyed. So those are some alternative artist updates going on here around. We've also got some more great music on your way, and this is our Gold Star album of the week. It's been a couple weeks since we had an album that I thought was a good Gold Star album. If it's not up to par, if you don't have a good album, it was Single Saturday last week, but if it's not up to par, I'm not gonna put it out there as a Gold Star album. But this one I think is I think we can give that denomination to. It's Chicano Batman is the name of the band. They've got this new album out, Notebook Fantasy. It's kind of this upbeat, jazzy, indie rock type album, and it's got some really good texture to it, especially in the guitars. And the song that I want to highlight for you tonight is Beautiful Daughter. So I'm going to play Beautiful Daughter right here on Alt Culture Weekend. Right here on Tuscaloosa's new alternative. It's Alt Culture Weekend, playing a little different type of alt music for you. Porter Robinson has got a new album coming out soon, but hasn't released the date of that. But there are new albums coming out next week. I want to go ahead and give you a preview. These are all dropping next Friday. Vampire Weekend, Only God Was Above Us, The Black Keys with the Ohio Players, Conan Gray with Found Heaven, Benson Boone with Fireworks and Rollerblades. All those are coming out next week. We're going to listen to all of them, preview them, play any highlights from them if we deem them worthy for you right here on Alt 1017. Wrapping things up as we talk just a couple other things going on here in Tuscaloosa, as well as things that you need to be aware of. I'll go ahead and hit this last little donut thing. If you are a chocolate donut, if that's your favorite, psychiatrist says that you recognize that life is too short and everyone should enjoy an indulgence. We're indulging in some great music here on the show. We're going to hit you with some last of it in just a moment, but we talked about Beyonce earlier in the show, her new album Cowboy Carter out. I enjoyed a couple songs off of that, but she's got here in Tuscaloosa, Icon is having their Beyonce night. They encourage you to dress up in country attire. And also for those icons out there, Joe Biden has announced that tomorrow is a Transgender Day of Awareness. Day of Visibility, sorry. And also, Gerard Way is a member of MCR, My Chemical Romance. I was having a brain fart and could not remember, but that is who Gerard Way is. I promise. Don't take away my alt card. I promise that I know who he is. Wanted to play a little bit of 21 Pilots. They had a new single out, but we ran out of time for today. But you can go check that out right now. Alt 1017 FM on Instagram. Click on the link in our bio. We got the playlist of all these songs, plus a couple extras. So if you missed anything or you want to hear something again and you didn't catch the name, go check that out. It's always updated right after the show. Stay tuned as well for our favorite songs from the Gold Star album of this week. That is Chicano Batman's Notebook Fantasy. We're going to close out the show here with Chastity Belt, I-90 Bridge. I really enjoyed the guitar riff on this one, so I'm going to let them play us out as we end here on Alt Culture Weekend. We'll see you next week. Have a good night.